जी, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फोरआर्म?
सर जो एल्बो जॉइंट है, एल्बो जॉइंट से लेकर रिस्ट जॉइंट तक मेरे ख्याल से, तो उसको
Fine.
फोर आर्म कहते हैं।
So it can be defined as the region of the upper limb that extends between the elbow to the wrist. ठीक है? The region of the upper limb between the elbow and the region of the upper limb between the elbow and the wrist, that is called as a forearm. It is also called as the antebrachium. ठीक है? इसको antebrachium भी कहते हैं, right? So whenever we are going to talk about any region, so first we'll talk about the, from
सर वीडियो
superficial to deep जाएंगे, ठीक है ना? जी बेटा.
कुछ नहीं सर, बस
Okay, so we'll move from superficial to deep. So superficial में सबसे पहले we'll come across with the skin, right? Then the superficial fascia, then the deep fascia, and then the deeper structures like the muscles, nerves, and the vessels. ठीक है? We'll talk about them in detail one by one. So when we talk about the skin, तो skin के लिए we just we are concerned with the cutaneous innervation. ठीक है? कि जो रीजन की जो नर्व सप्लाई स्किन जो cutaneous innervation है वो कौन सी नर्व्स करती है, राइट? So the cutaneous innervation of the forearm. So if you have a look over the forearm, cutaneous innervation of the forearm. So the cutaneous innervation of the forearm. So forearm extending from the elbow to the wrist, right? So on the anterior surface of the forearm, it is divided into the two halves, the lateral half and the medial half, right? So the lateral half, it is supplied by the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm. ठीक है जी? Lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm. The lateral half of the anterior surface of the forearm, it is supplied by the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, whereas the medial half is supplied by the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm, right? ठीक है जी? Okay. Now, and the posterior aspect, on the posterior aspect you can see there's the posterolateral aspect of the forearm. It is also supplied by the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, right? And the dorsomedial aspect of the forearm, it is again supplied by the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm. And here you can see on the dorsal surface, the middle strip, the narrow middle strip on the dorsal aspect of the forearm, it is supplied by the another nerve that is called as the posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm, right? Okay, so as far as the cutaneous innervation of forearm is concerned, if I say that the lateral aspect, okay, of the forearm, right, it is supplied by the anterior and the posterior branches of the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, right? The lateral aspect of the forearm, the lateral half of the forearm rather, it is basically supplied by the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, anterior and the posterior branches. Likewise, on the medial aspect, we have got the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Okay? Well, but on the posterior aspect, we have a narrow strip in the middle area, this area. This is supplied by the posterior cutaneous of the forearm. Now we talk about these one by one. First of all, the lateral cutaneous of the forearm. Lateral cutaneous of the forearm is it is basically the continuation of the. किसकी continuation है जी? कोई बताएगा जी? ये हमने पढ़ा था जी, जब आपने sorry, entry compartment of the arm पढ़ा था, तो you had talked about the musculocutaneous nerve, right? The musculocutaneous nerve that is just going to be continuous in the forearm as a lateral cutaneous of the forearm, right? So the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm is the continuation of the musculocutaneous nerve. Musculocutaneous nerve किसकी branch है जी? जी, ये brachial
सर
plexus
मीडियन कॉर्ड की थी ना, लेटरल
किस
कॉर्ड की।
lateral cord की, right? Lateral cord of the brachial plexus की branch, right? The musculocutaneous nerve. Okay, just show you. Here you can also see it. This is the anterior cutaneous branch over here of the lateral cutaneous nerve की ये anterior branch आ रही है, ठीक है जी? यहाँ पे posterior, right? Likewise यहाँ पे you can see the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm की anterior branch है और ये उसकी posterior branch है, right? Okay, now the musculocutaneous nerve is a branch of what जी? कौन बताएगा जी? इसे ब्रांच ऑफ द लेटरल कॉर्ड ऑफ द ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सस। ठीक है, हम इसको थोड़ा सा एक क्विक रिव्यू देते हैं सो दैट यू हैव द बेटर आइडिया कि लेटरल कुटिनियस ऑफ द फोरआर्म कहाँ से आ रही है, राइट। सो इट्स अ ब्रांच ऑफ द लेटरल कॉर्ड ऑफ ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सस व्हिच हैज बीन गिवन on the lateral aspect of the third part of axillary artery, ठीक है, and then it is going to enter the arm by piercing through this coracobrachialis muscle, ठीक है, ये coracobrachialis muscle को pierce करेगी and then it will be running entering into the anterior compartment of the arm and then it runs between the biceps and the brachialis muscle, ठीक है। biceps रिमूव कर दिया भाई यहाँ से, आपको जो नजर आ रहा है जिसके पे ये मसल नर्व लाई कर रही है, तो brachialis muscle, ठीक है। so it runs between the obliquely downwards and laterally between the biceps and the brachialis muscle and then it comes to lie on the lateral aspect of the arm, ठीक है, lateral aspect of the arm, lateral aspect of the biceps यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, right। and then here about 2 centimeters above the elbow it pierces a deep fascia, ये deep structure है ना, so it is going to become superficial, so it is going to pierce deep fascia and become superficial and continuous as a lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Here you can see this one. Is it clear बेटे? And as it is just going to be superficial, it crosses the elbow joint. ये आपके जो cubital fossa है इसको क्रॉस कर रही है, elbow joint को क्रॉस कर रही है in the skin and it is going to divide into the anterior and the posterior branches. ठीक है जी, तो anterior branch है बच्चे, it is just going to run on the anterior aspect of the radial side of the forearm, ठीक है जी, the radial side of the forearm के anterior aspect पे run करेगी and it is going to supply only the anterior aspect of the anterior surface of the anterior half of the surface of the forearm, anterior surface of the half of the forearm. Here it is going to supply this, right? Whereas the dorsal one, it is running along the dorsolateral aspect over here and it is going to supply the dorsolateral aspect of the forearm. अब देखें जो एंटीरियर जो है वो खाली एंटीरियर सरफेस को सप्लाई कर रही है, राइट, वेयर एज द डॉर्सल ब्रांच इट इज गोइंग टू सप्लाई द डॉर्सोलेटरल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द फोरआर्म, ठीक है जी, सारे का सारा ये सप्लाई। इज इट क्लियर जी? कोई प्रॉब्लम? नो। लाइकवाइज द मीडियल cutaneous nerve of the forearm, medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm किसकी ब्रांच है जी? Medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm is a branch of the medial cord of the brachial plexus. It is also been given higher up in the axilla. ठीक है, ये medial cord से निकलेगी and then it is running on the medial aspect of the arm, running on the medial aspect of the brachial artery. brachial artery के medially run कर रही है, देखिए ये आ रही है, right? And when near the elbow or the mid of the arm, it is going to pierce the deep fascia. Deep fascia को pierce करेगी, जहाँ से ये बाहर निकल रही है वहीं से there is a vessel vein it is getting inside, right? That is the basilic vein, ठीक है। basilic vein यहाँ से it will going to enter into the deep fascia in the deepest part because that is a superficial vein, it is going to enter into the deep, it is going to become deep, whereas this medial cutaneous of the forearm it is going to pierce the deep fascia and becomes cutaneous, ठीक है, ये superficial fascia में आ रही है, ठीक है, it is becoming superficial and after becoming superficial you can see after being superficial it is going to again divide into the two branches here. This one, the anterior branch and the dorsal branch, ठीक है। The medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm been given by the medial cord of brachial plexus runs on the medial aspect of the brachial artery and near the mid of the arm it is going to pierce the deep fascia and become superficial and then after becoming superficial it is going to divide into the two branches, anterior branch and the posterior branch again. Again, the anterior one is running on the anterior aspect of the medial ulnar side of the forearm and is going to supply the anterior surface का जो medial half है that is being supplied by the anterior branch of the medial cutaneous of the forearm. Whereas the other one, the dorsal one, it is running along the posteromedial border and then it is going to supply the posteromedial aspect of the forearm. Is it clear जी? कोई problem तो नहीं है? And here you can see the other one, the posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which is just going to supply the middle strip over the middle strip on the dorsal aspect of the forearm. Here, this one, right? And this nerve, it is a branch of the radial nerve and given higher up in the, again given higher up in the arm. Just show you. Here you can see The posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm, it is also being given by the radial nerve in the arm, okay, in the posterior compartment of the arm, right? And then it is going to cross the elbow joint and comes to lie on the dorsal aspect of the forearm and is going to supply the narrow strip in the narrow middle strip on the posterior surface of the forearm. Is it clear जी? Cutaneous nerve की प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है बच्चे? जी बात करें. Hello.
No, sir.
So everything is clear, na? Okay, now we'll talk about the superficial fascia. And I told you that superficial fascia may we always talk about the the structures which are running in the superficial fascia and the most common in the region of your you know forearm are the superficial veins. Here you can see the superficial veins and the superficial lymphatics. We have talked about these cutaneous nerves, right? These are running over there, and then in the superficial fascia we'll come across with their superficial veins. Okay, as far as the superficial veins and the lymphatics are concerned, so superficial veins of the forearm, there are two superficial major veins of the forearm. The one which is running on the lateral aspect, that is called as sphalic vein, and the one running on the medial aspect, that is called as the basilic vein, right? The sphalic vein and the basilic vein, right? And there is a communicating channel between the sphalic and the basilic. This is called as the median cubital vein or the median basilic vein, right? The communicating channel for the vein, which is just going to communicate from the the sphalic vein with the basilic vein, that is called as the median cubital vein. We'll talk about it in detail. So the sphalic vein. Sphalic vein is called cephalic because it is running towards the upper aspect, right? Well, it is running towards the shoulder directly, right? Okay. And it starts from the, on the dorsum of the hand. Just we have talked about the foot now. The dorsum of the foot, we have got the dorsal venous arch. Likewise, in the dorsum of the hand, we have got this arch. This is called as the dorsal venous arch, right? So this sphalic vein, it starts from the lateral aspect of the dorsal venous arch, right? It starts from the lateral aspect of the dorsal venous arch, and then it winds around the lateral border of the forearm and comes to lie anterior. You see over here, right? It starts from the dorsum of the hand, from the lateral aspect of the dorsum of the hand, and when it will reach over the wrist, near the wrist, it is just going to curve around the lateral border of the forearm and come to lie anterior and runs on the anterolateral aspect of the forearm. Here, you can see. Is it clear? Ji, problem to nahi bache? And then from here, it is just going on this position. It accesses up to the cubital fossa, crosses the cubital fossa, and then it will run on the arm on the lateral aspect of the biceps muscle. As you can see, on the lateral aspect of the biceps muscle, it will be running in the skin, in the superficial fascia. Is it clear, bete? कोई problem तो नहीं है? Okay, here you can see that is ascending upwards, running on the lateral aspect of the biceps muscle, and near the shoulder, it turns medially here, right? And it runs in a groove. यहाँ पे कौन सा groove होता है जी? We have talked about it already.
Deltopectoral groove.
Right. So it will be running in the deltopectoral groove, reaching the deltopectoral triangle, and it is going to enter into the. कहाँ जाके enter करेगी जी? अभी बताया था जी. जी axillary vein में, ठीक है? It is going to drain. It is going to open into the axillary vein, right? I repeat it again. That starts from the dorsal of the hand, on the lateral aspect of the dorsal venous arch. Then it winds around the near the wrist. It winds around the lateral border of the forearm. Then ascends on the anterolateral aspect of the forearm. Crosses the cubital fossa. Runs on the lateral aspect of the arm of the biceps muscle also, and then when it reaches near the shoulder, it runs in the deltopectoral groove between the pectoralis major and the deltoid muscle, and then reaches the deltopectoral triangle, and here it is going to pierce the, it is going to enter the axillary vein. ठीक है बेटा, कोई problem तो नहीं है? And during in its course, it is receiving the small variable number of the veins from the dorsal and the lateral aspect of the forearm. ठीक है? Is it clear जी? You can see it's receiving small unnamed veins which are going to drain the different parts of the forearm into the cephalic vein. Now its communication. I told you it is going to communicate with a small venous channel. Some books write, your Snell's write that it is a branch of this, cephalic vein, which is just going to communicate with the basilic vein over here, right? And this is called the median cubital vein, right? This median cubital vein is an ideal vein. Basically, you have been come across if you are dealing with the, giving the blood samples or giving the blood tests sometimes. So they are, this is the most favorable site to take the blood sample, right? So the median cubital vein, it's also called as a median basilic vein. Well, it's a communicating channel, I told you, between the cephalic vein and the basilic vein. Some books write that it runs, that it is a branch of the cephalic vein which runs upwards and medially and across the cubital fossa and is going to join with the basilic vein. ठीक है जी? And while doing so, it is going to cross the deeper structures. ठीक है? कौन कौन से deeper structure यहाँ से cross करे जी? Do you know remember the contents of the cubital fossa ji? Contents of the cubital fossa from medial to lateral. किसको याद है जी? देख के बता दो यार, ये नजर आ रहा है.
सर मीडियन नर्व है
जी, यहाँ से मीडियन नर्व गुजरती है, ठीक है. ब्रेकियल होगी, ठीक है. मीडियन नर्व होगी, ब्रेकियल आर्टरी होगी और बाइसेप्टल एपिन से राइट, ठीक है ना, बाइसेप्टल टेंडन, राइट. और ये इसका एंड दीज डीपर स्ट्रक्चर्स, क्योंकि ये सुपरफिशियल है ना, वेन सुपरफिशियल है. So these are deeper structures, and these deeper structures are separated from this, vein by the
bicipital aponeurosis.
जी, bicipital aponeurosis. Is it clear जी? Relation समझ में आ गया आपको? ठीक है?
Yes sir, आ गया.
And what is the clinical importance of this median cubital vein? That it is responsible. It is being taken for the venipunctures. ठीक है ना, ब्लड सैंपल्स ड्रॉ करने हो, ब्लड लेना हो, व्हाटएवर, ठीक है, कोई आईवी इंजेक्शंस देने होते हैं, आईवी कैनुलेशन करनी होती है जी, blood transfusion can be, right? So it's in a favor, is a most favored site because it's prominent, and you see sometimes it can be seen. You see these superficial veins जो हैं आपकी arm की, forearm की, so these are visible, ठीक है ना, when you're just going to block tie the arm, so you can just move your wrist and you can see the veins becoming engorged with the blood, right? So it is very easy to deal with these veins. Is it clear, Chief? Okay, so we'll talk about the basilic vein now. Basilic vein again. ये कहाँ से start होगी जी? Somebody? Anybody? Cephalic vein कहाँ से आ रही थी जी?
Dorsum of the foot से hand से आती शायद.
Like similar, ठीक है ना? Here you can see dorsal venous arch. उसकी lateral end से कौन सी आ रही है? Cephalic vein. और उसके medial end से कौन सी आएगी जी? Basilic vein. Very simple, right? Here you can see the basilic vein. It is getting formed from the dorsal venous arch and the small digital vein coming from here. They'll join each other and going to form this basilic vein, right? Again, it is coming from the medial aspect of dorsal venous arch, ascending over the wrist, and near the medial border, it is just going to wind around the medial border and again come to the you see the anteromedial aspect of the forearm, right? And here it is going to ascend up to the cubital fossa here. ठीक है जी? And in the cubital fossa, it is going to get this communicating channel from the cubital vein, and then it is going to ascend along the medial aspect of the, biceps muscle. ठीक है? Medial aspect of the arm or the medial aspect of the biceps muscle, and is going to ascend up into the arm. ठीक है जी? And when it will reach, here you can see, and near the mid of the arm, it is going to pierce the deep fascia. ठीक है? Cephalic vein तो जो थी ना, it is called cephalic because it is running throughout the superficially throughout and reaches up to the shoulder. But what about the basilic? It is when it will reach over the mid of the arm, it is going to pierce the deep fascia and becomes deep. ठीक है? ये mid of the arm से ये deep हो जाएगी, and जैसे ये enter into the mid of the arm and it's getting deeper one, it will reach up to the level of the lower border of teres major muscle, and it is joined by the हाँ जी पढ़ा था, कौन बताएगा? Is going to pierce the fascia over here, deep fascia, getting deeper, and when we'll reach it over here, near the lower border of the teres major muscle. It is joined by the vena comitantris of the brachial vein and going to form the axillary vein. Here you can see this. ठीक है जी, I repeat it again. The basilic vein starts from the dorsal venous arch, the medial side of the dorsal venous arch, then it winds around the medial border of the forearm in the near the wrist and come to lie on the anteromedial aspect of the forearm. Then it crosses the cubital fossa and then runs on the medial aspect of the forearm near the mid of the forearm. It is just going to pierce the D fascia and becomes deeper one. And when it will reach near the teres, lower part of teres major muscle, it is joined by the two vena comitantris of the brachial vein and going to form the axillary vein. Is it clear, Ji? When we talk about the tributaries of the basilic vein, the two important tributaries, the communicating channel coming from the sphalic vein is going towards the basilic vein, and then one is when it is just going to pierce that in the mid of the arm, it is going to receive the anterior and the posterior circumflex humeral vessels. Okay? Anterior and posterior circumflex humeral vessels, veins, sorry, these are the tributaries of the basilic vein. Is it clear? The problem to nahi hai ji? No. These veins, basilic veins, it is sometimes used by some vascular surgeons to create the AV fistulas. ठीक है जी, arteriovenous shunt बनाया जाता है for the hemodialysis in the patients of the renal failure, right? So here, some surgeons use this vein over here for making these shunts. Is it clear? Okay, now we'll talk about the.
तो ये रिपीट कर दे दोबारा.
तो मैंने आपको बताया कि sometimes some vascular surgeons use this vein for making the AV fistulas or the AV junction, AV fistulas for the for the hemodialysis. ठीक है, जो renal failure के पेशेंट्स का डायलिसिस किया जाता है ना बेटे, उसके लिए एक AV शंट बनाया जाता है, AV फिस्टुला बनाया जाता है, राइट? उसके लिए फिर ये वेन यूज की जाती है. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll talk about the lymphatics, the superficial lymphatics of the forearm. So as far as the forearm is concerned, from the lateral aspect of the thumb and the lateral aspect of the forearm, right, the lymphatics, the superficial lymphatics will travel along with the sphalic vein and they are going to drain into the infraclavicular group of the lymph nodes. So आपको याद होगा जब हमने axillary lymph nodes पढ़े थे, ठीक है ना, उसमें भी मैंने आपको बताया था, the lymphatics coming from the lateral aspect of the thumb and the lateral aspect of the forearm, they will travel along the sphalic vein and they are going to drain into the supraclavicular group of the lymph nodes. Whereas the others coming from the medial aspect of the hand and the medial aspect of the forearm, some of them they are going to drain into the supratrochlear group of the lymph nodes, and the rest of them they are going to drain into the lateral group of the lymph nodes. याद है जी, lateral group of the lymph nodes कहाँ पे पड़े होते हैं जी? What is the location of the lateral group of the axillary lymph nodes जी? Anybody? जी सुफियान.
सर याद है पर अभी दिमाग में नहीं है.
तो याद तो ना हो फिर बेटे. नाम क्या तुम्हारा? What's your name? सुफियान ना?
यस सर, सुफियान बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ, तो वही कह रहा हूँ ना कि नाम याद है ना. अब तुम ये कह सर नाम तो है लेकिन दिमाग में नहीं है, तो फिर तो बात नहीं ना बनती. Well, so but a lateral group of the lymph nodes, they are located near the along the medial aspect of the axillary vein. ठीक है? ठीक है? Lateral group is located where? Near the medial to the axillary vein. So all the lymphs I told you before that the from here of the upper limb, it is basically most of all it's going to drain over in the lateral group of the lymph node. ठीक है ना? But some I told you the some part that is coming from the lateral aspect of thumb and lateral aspect of forearm, they are going towards the infraclavicular group of the lymph nodes, and from the medial aspect of the forearm, they are going towards the supratrochlear group of the lymph nodes. But you remember that the supratrochlear group of the lymph nodes, ultimately they are going to drain into the lateral group of the lymph nodes. Okay? So most of the lymph from the upper limb, whole of the upper limb, that is basically going towards the lateral group of the lymph nodes. और lateral group से lymph node से lymph कहाँ जाएगा जी? Lateral से कहाँ जाएगा lymph? Efferents of the lateral group of the lymph nodes will go towards the central, and from the central they will go towards the apical group of the lymph nodes. भूल गए हो ना सब, right? और एपिकल से कहाँ जाएगा जी? एपिकल के इफरेंट्स क्या बनाएंगे? राइट एंड द लेफ्ट सबक्लेवियन लिम्फ ट्रंक्स। बच्चे क्या हो गया आप लोगों को? चलें, वेल, so we have finished the superficial fascia की प्रॉब्लम जी। superficial fascia में, superficial fascia में will be coming across with the cutaneous nerve भी हो गई जी, cutaneous veins भी हो गई, right, superficial veins भी हो गई and the superficial lymphatics। इन तीनों चीजों में की प्रॉब्लम है तो बेटे you can ask me। hello, is anybody there? okay जी, now we'll move towards the compartments of the forearm और the
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
जी बेटे।
सर ब्लड प्रेशर मेजर करने के लिए हम स्टेथोस्कोप कौन सी वेन पे रखते हैं?
बट दैट्स नॉट वेन ना, वेन के साथ ब्रेकियल आर्टरी बड़ी होती है। बेसिकली जब हम प्रेशर एक्सर्ट करते हैं ना, इन्फ्लेट करते हैं तो क्या होता है, वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू ब्लॉक द ब्रेकियल आर्टरी की ब्लड से ब्लॉक हो जाती है, ठीक है। जब हम प्रेशर रिलीज करते हैं तो ब्रेकियल आर्टरी की पल्सेशंस वापस आती हैं। जब ब्रेकियल आर्टरी की पल्सेशंस वापस आती हैं ना तो यू हियर अ साउंड इन योर स्टेप्स, ठीक है, एंड दैट इज अ बिगिनिंग ऑफ योर सिस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर। हम कहते हैं ना ये ऊपर वाला ये है और नीचे वाला ये, ऐसे कहते हैं ना, तो जी 140/90 है, ठीक है। तो द वन विच जहां पे आपको पहली साउंड सुनाई देती है दैट इज द सिस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर, ठीक है। और जहां पे वो साउंड्स खत्म हो जाती हैं दैट इज द डायस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर, ठीक है ना। इज इट क्लियर? So that is not the vein, brachial artery. Brachial artery को
Yes.
press करते हैं। Okay. Now the fascial compartment of the forearm, as you know, or the deep fascia of the forearm. Or deep fascia of the forearm, it is going to enclose. You can see that this is skin, superficial fascia, or ये deep fascia, the green lining, right? So deep fascia of the forearm, it is going to, it's a membranous, and it is going to, enclose the forearm like a sleeve. ठीक है? उसने forearm को as a sleeves को enclose किया, ठीक है, and it is going to be attached at the posterior border of the ulna. You can see the deep fascia is going to be attached at the posterior border of the ulna, and then this interosseous membrane stretching between the radius and the ulna, right? It is going to divide this forearm into the anterior compartment and the posterior compartment. ठीक है जी, anterior compartment and the posterior compartment, ठीक है जी। इसके अलावा क्या है बेटा? There are numerous septas. ये आपको नजर आ रहे हैं? In numerous intermuscular septas coming from the inner aspect of this deep fascia. It is going to divide these compartments into the certain muscle groups. ठीक है? इन muscles को, जो deeper compartment की muscles हैं, इनको region इनको ये further subgroups में divide कर रहा है, ठीक है ना? This is the superficial group of the anterior compartment and this is the deep group of the anterior compartment. ठीक है? Likewise, we have got these the posterior compartment muscles over there, ठीक है। And here you can see that each compartment have got its own nerve supply and the blood supply. यहाँ पे आप देख लें, यहाँ पे आप देख लें, यहाँ पे आप देख लें, right? So each compartment, which is basically formed by these septas coming from the inner aspect of this deep fascia, which each compartment has got its own nerve supply and the blood supply. Is it clear, better? As far as the interosseous membrane is concerned, so we have talked about it already. The interosseous membrane, it is a strong membrane that is stretched between the radius and the ulna, two bones, right? Right, along with their interosseous borders, and its fibers running downwards and medially. You can see the fibers running downwards and medially. और इसका purpose क्या है कि whenever someone falls on the outstretched hand, the thrust of the force which is received by this radius, it is going to be transmitted towards the ulna by this strong membrane. ठीक है, जो तो thrust आपको गिरने के बाद जो आपकी बोन के ऊपर जो फोर्स अप्लाई होती है दैट इज बेसिकली ट्रांसमिटेड बाय दिस इंट्रोशियस मेम्ब्रेन टू द अल्ना एंड फ्रॉम द अल्ना टू द अल्वेओलार प्रोसेस टू द humerus and humerus to the scapula. So thrust of the force is being transmitted from the lower end of the part of the upper limb to the upper aspect. ठीक है, number one. Number two, the interosseous membrane का दूसरा फंक्शन क्या बेटा? It is going to give attachment to the muscles. ठीक है, हम आगे पढ़ेंगे कि यहाँ से कुछ muscles they are also getting origin. ठीक है, it's going to it provides attachment to the muscles. And number three, that it is going to make a joint. I told you, this interosseous membrane is going to make a middle radioulnar joint, that is the fibrous type of joint that is called as that is also named as the syndesmosis. ठीक है जी, is it clear? Interosseous membrane में कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है बच्चे? Okay, no. As far as the deep fascia is concerned in the lower part of the forearm, it is going to form certain thickenings. I told you कि deep fascia की फैनिया को फिर बताई थी कि fat bands बनाएगा, thickenings बनाएगा, right? So you can see the lower part of the forearm में the thickening of the deep fascia is going to form the retinaculars. And what are the retinaculars? Retinaculars are the bands, thick bands, thickenings of the deep fascia or the bands which are just present at the wrist over here to hold the tendons in place. ठीक है ना, ये जितने muscles हैं ना forearm के बेटे, these are sending the tendons to the hand so that to control the movements of the finger. ठीक है ना, तो उन tendons को एक space में अपनी position पे रखने के लिए the nature has provided this thickening of the deep fascia, and these are called as the retinaculars. The one which is present on the anterior aspect, that is called as the flexor retinaculum because ये flexor compartment के muscles को hold कर रहा है. The other one which is present on the dorsum of the wrist, that is called as the extensor retinaculum. ठीक है, वो extensor compartment के muscle ना, जो dorsum के posterior aspect of the forearm के जो muscle, these are the extensors, तो वो extensor retinaculum. Is it clear बच्चे? Okay. Now, as far as the flexor retinaculum is concerned, I told you the thickening of the deep fascia on the anterior aspect of the lower aspect of the wrist, right? And it is going to hold the anterior aspect के जो tendons हैं, the flexor tendons to hold to hold the flexor tendons in their place, right? Now it stretches across the wrist, ठीक है? And it converts, you see, किसी को याद है जी ये carpal bones याद है जी किसी को? The two rows, carpal rows, right? So ये carpal rows, these are basically concave on the anterior aspect. इनकी जो arrangement है ना, these are concave, and this retinaculum is attached on the lateral aspect to the, you see, this is tuberculous के fire पे attached होता है और the ये trapezium पे attached, right? On the medial aspect, it is attached towards the along the pisiform bone and the hook of the hamate. And so this concave surface and the attachment of the flexor retinaculum, it is going to convert this space into a tunnel, right? And through this tunnel, you see, through this tunnel, these structures are passing. The tendons of the flexor region and the nerve, median nerve, these are passing through this tunnel. And this tunnel is called as a carpal tunnel because it is formed by the concavity of the carpal bones and overlie, and it is bridged by this flexor retinaculum, right? So this is called as a carpal tunnel. और इस carpal tunnel का क्या purpose है कि यहाँ से it is just going to allow a passage, ठीक है? The passage of the flexor tendons, long flexor tendons, to enter, to leave the forearm and enter into the hand. Is it clear, बेटे? Attachment पता चल गई, attachment में problem तो नहीं है. And here you can see that this, flexor retinaculum, it is flexor retinaculum, it is, above, its upper body is continuous with the deep fascia of the forearm, and its lower body is continuous with this, aponeurosis, and this is called the palmar aponeurosis. जैसे foot में हमने पढ़ा था जी plantar aponeurosis. So we have got the palmar aponeurosis in this region. So the upper body is continuous with the deep fascia of the forearm, and the lower border, it is continuous with the palmar aponeurosis. Is it clear, beta? Now the structures which are passing behind the flexor retinaculum, you see, now the structure passing through this, number one, from medial to lateral we have got this tendon, the tendons of flexor digitorum superficialis, and deep to them the flexor digitorum profundus के tendons जा रहे हैं, right? And these are passing through, these are acquiring a same synovial sheath. Then we have got the median nerve, then the tendon of flexor pollicis longus, and then the flexor carpi radialis, right? So these are the four structures which are passing through this carpal tunnel. I repeat it again. In this common synovial sheath, the tendon of flexor digitorum superficialis and the profundus, they are passing, and then the median nerve, and then later to that, that is the flexor pollicis longus, and then the flexor carpi radialis. कोई problem तो नहीं है बच्चे यहाँ तक? Is it clear? Is it clear, बच्चे? So anterior compartment में we have talked about the flexor retinaculum. I told you कि यहाँ से ये switches pass कर रहे हैं. Okay. Now we'll talk about the contents of the anterior compartment. ठीक है जी? Contents of the anterior compartment में बेटे, of course, deep fascia के बाद we will be coming across with the muscles. ठीक है जी? Anterior compartment में we have got, so first of all we are having come across with the muscles. So the muscles of the anterior compartment, they are being divided into the three groups: the superficial group, the intermediate group, and the deep group. The superficial group में बेटा we have got the four muscles. From you can see the lateral to medial aspect. We are going towards the medial aspect. We have got first one is the pronator teres muscle, flexor carpi radialis muscle, the palmaris longus muscle, and the flexor carpi ulnaris. The superficial group में we have got the 4 muscles. Some books write 5 muscles. कैसे? Pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and the deeper muscle of the superficial group, that is the flexor digitum superficialis. And then the 5th one is the flexor carpi ulnaris. But some books write that some books categorize the flexor digitum superficialis as the middle group, separate group, intermediate group, right? So if you go like this, then the superficial group has got the 4 muscles: pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and the flexor carpi ulnaris. 4 muscles, right? Now the intermediate group maybe I got, I told you, this flexor digitorum superficialis muscle, right? And then the deeper group, it consists of 3 muscles: flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, and then the pronator quadratus muscle. Is it clear ji? Muscles of the anterior compartment में कोई problem है तो बेटा पूछ लें. We have got 3 groups. Number 1, कौन सा जी? Superficial group, intermediate group, and the deeper group. The superficial group contains the pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and the flexor carpi ulnaris. क्या बात, अभी सो गए सारे लोग? Get up. बेटा प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है? हेलो?
नो सर.
ओके, सो सुपरफिशियल ग्रुप में कौन से मसल हैं बताओ फिर? प्रोनेटर टीरीज है, नंबर 2 फ्लेक्सर कार्पाई रेडियालिस है, नंबर 3 palmaris longus है, नंबर 4 flexor carpi ulnaris है, right? And then we have got a second group, intermediate, it contains only 1 muscle, the flexor digitorum superficialis. It is also called as the sublimis, ठीक है? Flexor digitorum sublimis. And then the deeper group, it consists of the 3 muscles: flexor digitorum profundus, we have got the flexor pollicis longus, and the third one is the pronator quadratus muscle, right? Okay, now the structures other than these muscles, we have got the 2 arteries, the radial artery and the ulnar artery, and then the 2 nerves, the median nerve and the ulnar nerve. So the contents of the facial the anterior compartment of forearm, we have got the muscles, we have got the arteries, we have got the nerve. कोई problem तो नहीं है बच्चे, arteries 2 है जी,